In the months since Rockstar promised Grand Theft Auto 6 for May 2026, the company fired 30 to 40 developers, faced accusations of union busting, and just announced another massive delay. And it's let all of us down, especially the guy who said that date was 100% confirmed.
GTA 6 is 100% confirmed for May 26th, which is great.
Sorry about that, but hey, I'm not Nostradamus, and they said it was 100% confirmed. But here's what nobody's talking about. The real reason has nothing to do with any of that. Well, kinda, you'll see what I'm talking about. So today, or tonight, we're explaining what's actually happening at Rockstar Games. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been in development since 2018, and really even before that. But let's just say 2018. That's almost 8 years. The franchise has made $9.7 billion since Grand Theft Auto 5 launched. Take-Two has bet everything on this release. Absolutely everything. With some reports saying there's a $2 billion budget. In May of 2025, Rockstar delayed it from fall of 2025 to May of 2026. Last week, they announced another delay to November 2026. And I know nobody wanted to hear that. People have already been taking time off of work like way in advance. And yeah, that sucks. I know some of you were saying you couldn't wait to play the game because it was going to line up with your paternity leave, stuff like that. Well, yeah. Take-Two's stock dropped roughly 10% in a single day. And yeah, it's recovering, but it is still down at the time of recording. And it's complicated because around the time of that announcement, we learned about Rockstar firing the people for leaking information. And what followed were accusations of union busting from labor organizations in the UK. And yes, I have covered this extensively in a previous video. I'll put that up here. You can watch it if you haven't already. And then an anonymous Rockstar employee posted a detailed account of the firings, describing HR meetings that lasted under 5 minutes and people on sick leave being terminated via phone calls. And so the obvious question here is, are the delays connected to the labor problems? And in the previous video, I hinted that if there were going to be a delay, it would most likely be because of that. But that is not the direct reason. You see, the answer is more complicated than you think. Rockstar says Grand Theft Auto 6 needs more time to deliver at the quality level players expect. That's it. That's the official reason. But that's not surprising. They say something to that effect every single delay. Now, on the surface, that sounds like corporate speak, but to some extent, it is probably true. Think about the scope. Grand Theft Auto 6 is set in Vice City, essentially a recreation of Florida, Leonida, whatever. I mean, it's a huge, huge game. And they've got two protagonists that they're going to really try and flesh out, especially more than Grand Theft Auto 5. And it's a modern day narrative, and you know how complicated that can be to kind of dance around with their jokes and political commentary and stuff. Also, this is going to be the biggest entertainment release of all time. So they have to get it just right. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013. Yes, that's 12 years ago. The gap between 5 and 6 is literally the longest in franchise history. Rockstar has had more time to develop this than any other Grand Theft Auto game ever made. And now they're telling us, hey, we need more time. That's a little concerning. CEO Strauss Zelnick told investors he's highly confident in the November 2026 release date. But again, he was also confident in the May 2026 release date. He also said this, quote, "When our competitors go to market before something was ready, bad things happen," end quote there. And he could be referring to Cyberpunk 2077 or Mind's Eye, which was a complete disaster. So the official line is, ambition requires more time. And based on what we know about game development, that is accurate. But let's talk about the labor complication here, because this is where it gets kind of messy. So on October 30th, Rockstar fired between 30 and 40 employees. The company said they were fired for distributing confidential information in a Discord channel. The UK-based Independent Workers Union called it the most blatant act of union busting in the history of the games industry. And man, that's a pretty big claim right there. So these employees were part of a private Discord channel organizing around working conditions, pay, and mandatory return to office policies. According to union leadership, they were close to reaching the 10% threshold needed for formal union recognition, which would have forced Rockstar Games to negotiate. And we know how much Rockstar Games likes to negotiate. On November 6th, the IWGB, which is the labor group I just spoke of, that's their acronym, IWGB, they organized protests outside of Rockstar's office in Edinburgh and London. And then that anonymous Rockstar employee that I was talking about posted the detailed account, describing HR meetings, like I said, lasting under 5 minutes, coworkers on sick leave and paternity leave being fired via brief phone calls. They said, quote, "When we should be excited about what's to come over the next year, we are now totally deflated," end quote. So there is a legitimate labor dispute here. Whether you agree with the workers or not, it's happening, it's what's going on over there, and it's worth paying attention to. Jason Schreier from Bloomberg reported that the November delay did not happen because 30 developers were fired a week before. He wrote, while the fallout from those firings could lead to more missed deadlines in the future, the game did not slip 6 months because 34 people were fired a week ago. So he's saying the firings didn't cause the delay. But even if that were true, we know that these firings will most likely cause problems down the line. So to understand what's really happening here, go back to March of 2024. That's when Kotaku reported Grand Theft Auto 6 was falling behind schedule. Sources said Rockstar was nervous about meeting the 2025 release window. Leadership was concerned production was dragging. This wasn't a secret. Rockstar knew it, investors knew it. The May 2025 delay confirmed it. In 2024, Rockstar ended hybrid work and mandated all employees return to the office 5 days a week. The company said that this was for security and productivity. They cited the 2022 hack when someone leaked 90 clips of Grand Theft Auto 6 footage. But the timing is revealing here. The return to office mandate came in response to production falling behind. This is a classic management move in game development, or really any corporate environment. When a project struggles, studios tighten control, increase oversight, and demand in-office attendance. It's an attempt to squeeze more productivity out of the team. Now, Rockstar expanded from 2,000 employees across all studios in 2018 to approximately 6,000 today. That's tripling the workforce. But despite that expansion, the game is still being pushed back. Why? Well, we know how Rockstar likes to do it. Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't going to be some minor little update. The game's probably going to freaking rock when it drops. It's huge. And after receiving lukewarm reactions to like their HD titles or whatever, the remakes basically of the original trilogy, and losing key creative leaders like Dan Houser in 2020, Rockstar is determined to recapture your attention and have a slam dunk win and again blow everyone away in the gaming industry. That is just how they roll. CEO Strauss Zelnick literally said that they want this to be the biggest entertainment product of all time. And honestly, it already is. And it's not even out yet. To achieve that requires extraordinary levels of detail, optimization, and polish. When you're pushing that hard, timelines slip, especially when the scale takes 8 years just to get a playable game. This anonymous employee I keep bringing up also mentioned something telling. They said, these people were not easily replaced and will certainly affect making our project deadlines. The loss of 30 to 40 developers apparently at this stage is damaging. The remaining team is already stretched thin. And I think that's interesting because that is in direct contrast to what Mr. Schreier said. But I think it's pretty obvious. How could you not? When you have 30 to 40 people who are so close to this game, who have all of this knowledge, been there for years, it's gonna hurt game development to lose them. Sure, you can replace any employee that you want, but just because you can replace them doesn't mean they're going to be right up to speed like the previous one was. We're talking years of not only training, but getting the corporate culture and everything embedded in them. Also, they just aren't going to be as close to the project as the previous employees were because they lived and breathed it for years. So will Grand Theft Auto 6 actually come out on November 19th, 2026? Honestly, nobody knows. But here's what I can say. First, Rockstar has a credibility problem. They said May 2026 was locked in. That's why you had me saying 100% confirmed. 6 months later, they announced a 6-month delay. You could see the cynicism on Reddit and YouTube and all over social media. Fans are joking that the real release date is 2027 or 2028. Second, losing 30 to 40 developers right now is damaging. Even if they aren't all on a critical path, the team lost institutional knowledge. They lost people who understood the code, the pipeline, the narrative structure. That's not something you recover from quickly. Third, morale is reportedly at a rock bottom. The anonymous employee said staff are working in fear and are totally deflated about the project. And let's be real, bad morale kills productivity. I've seen it time and time again. Fourth, there's legal exposure. The union-busting allegations are going to result in protracted legal battles in UK employment tribunals. Even if Rockstar wins, and they might, but even if they win, the distraction is real. Every media cycle around these allegations is another reminder to consumers that something is wrong. It is bad press, and not the cool bad boy kind of press, just straight up bad press. Take-Two's stock dropped 8 to 10% the day of that announcement. Nervous investors push for risk mitigation. That pressure filters down to Rockstar's management, who pressure the development team, so on and so forth. So you can see that the pressure is real for these people who are creating this game. So, will we see Grand Theft Auto 6 in November 2026? You want my honest opinion? Honestly, at this point, I'm going to keep it real. I say maybe 60% chance. 70 if I'm being generous. I could see the game being pushed back another month or two, maybe not 6 months, but maybe just a little bit longer. And I want to tell you, yeah, it's 100% confirmed, but I can't because this isn't the Rockstar that they previously were. And it shows you that speculation based off of their previous actions, you really just can't do it. Rockstar has a history of delays, sure, and Grand Theft Auto 4 was delayed multiple times, Grand Theft Auto 5 was delayed, Red Dead Redemption 2 was delayed. The company doesn't ship games until they are ready. But the whole thing of me saying, oh, they just push back release windows, not actual concrete dates, well, obviously, I've been proven wrong. I was wrong, I'll fully admit that. The gaming industry is watching this very closely. When Rockstar fires employees organizing a union, other studios take notes. When a company triples its workforce and still struggles to meet deadlines, executives ask uncomfortable questions about their own operations. Rockstar gambled on delaying again rather than shipping an unfinished product. Whether that gamble pays off and whether they can rebuild trust while managing labor disputes and delivering something truly extraordinary, well, that remains to be seen. For more of the union busting allegations specifically though, I do have a video that I put out previously and I highly recommend you check it out and you'll really understand what's going on behind the scenes. But there you go guys, there's some internal struggles going on at Rockstar right now and it's rough and it sucks, you know? But what can you do? It is what it is. There's plenty of great games out there right now, so go play. Shout out time. All right, for our first shout out, we have Tank the Champ for outright stealing my activities video. Looks like YouTube's copyright system actually came in clutch for this one. Shout out to this AI channel, GTA 6 Nation, who ripped my content and put a chick over me with AI. And thank you GTA Infinity for letting me know about this alternate reality. Also, straight up shout out to GTA Infinity. If you haven't already, go check him out and sub. This dude is really cool and makes great videos, and I enjoy talking to him. Really cool guy. Shout out to Ghost Chain 2274. Shout out to Munchkins Inc. Shout out to Red Misfit, who did ask a question about carrying guns on your shoulder in Grand Theft Auto 6 the same way you do in Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, I can tell you from the alpha leaks, that's exactly what we saw, so we'll see if it's actually in the final game, but I hope that answers your question for now. Then we have Mickrix Pro, and then Karma God. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I'm sorry, I wish I had better news for you this week, but this week's kind of like the angst arc. Sorry about that. Anyways, I hope you're taking good care of yourself. Here's 2 videos that might get you hyped back in it, or maybe it'll just be something else entirely. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, night, week, year, whatever. Just stay safe out there, guys. Peace.